Indeed, if you've ever eaten at Madison's and had a dessert you absolutely loved, here's the guy to blame. Chef Ray, good to have you here, executive pastry
my
chef
pleasure.
for the Madison's group. So what are you cooking for us today?
So we're making a white chocolate Grand Marnier bread pudding.
Oh, that
Yes,
sounds awesome.
yes. So today we're going to be using challah, but by all means, it doesn't have to be challah bread. It could be any bread that you have laying around the house. It doesn't make much difference at all.
Okay.
So if I could have you filling up the cups with the
sure.
little cubes that I've started.
Right up to the top?
Right up just like that one.
Like that one, okay.
Yeah,
You
and then
gave
I'm
me-
going to start melting my chocolate.
Using
I had
white
some
chocolate there?
White chocolate, good quality white chocolate.
And I noticed you used really hot cream. Is that cream? Half and half? What are you using?
This is heavy cream.
Okay.
I mean, excuse me, half and half.
Okay, half and half.
Yes, half and half. Excuse me. And then we're going to let that melt the chocolate. And while that's sitting there, I'm going to add some sugar to my eggs. And I'm going to start to whip those up a little bit.
And so do you use just regular sugar there, or are you
This is
using a
just
pastry
regular sugar,
Okay.
just regular granulated.
When do you, in baking or things like that, use a regular sugar, and when do you use the confectionery sugar?
Well, confectionery sugar is generally used for icings and that kind of thing, and more garnishing.
Oh, okay.
Where, although I do have quite a few recipes that do use it as well. So while that's setting, I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to grate some orange zest.
Give it that real orange flavor.
Exactly. And you want to make sure you only take the very top layer off. If you get into the white, it gets to be very bitter. That's the pith, and that's not very good at all.
Not for a pastry chef.
No, no, not at all. So we're going to put that in there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add, of course, my Grand Marnier.
Tasty.
Mix that up. And then our chocolate should be all melted. And I'm going to pour that right into my egg mixture.
You put that right in there, and the eggs aren't going to cook or anything?
You know, you should temper, but in this case, it really, the chocolate cools the cream down enough that it won't scramble the eggs. Can you smell the orange?
I sure can. Smells great.
So then what we're going to do now is just pour this into a pitcher. And then if you'd like to, you could actually fill up those little cups right to the top.
All righty. And so what you've made, I guess, is basically a custard here,
It is just a custard, correct.
And then all these little pieces of bread here are going to absorb that goodness.
It
and
certainly will.
And you say it doesn't matter if you're using an egg-based bread or if you use a Wonder Bread or whatever you want to do.
When I made this recipe, I was working up north on Cape Cod, a little Portuguese fishing village called Provincetown, Mass. And I used the Portuguese sweetbread, which is a very sweet, almost like challah, it's a very sweet, eggy bread. But at the end of season, the Portuguese bakery would close down, and I couldn't get the bread like I wanted. So I ended up using hot dog rolls, because we always had hot dog rolls for lobster rolls.
And did it work well?
It worked great, so I use hot dog rolls ever since.
How about that? Boy, I tell you, you measured this pretty well. This is exactly the right amount here. Okay, great.
Then we're going to do...
Then this goes in an... yes, go ahead.
We're going to top this with some coarse sugar. They'll give it extra little chunk. It's a sanding sugar. You see how big the pieces are?
Really big chunks.
Exactly. They'll just give a nice little texture on the top, a little bit of a crunch when it bakes.
Where do you get that? Can you buy that at Publix or
actually, at the craft stores they have it.
Craft
Michael's,
stores?
Joann's, in the specialty where the cake decorating items are, they have that there.
I'll be darned. Okay, so in the 30 seconds remaining,
we're going to cover that, put it in the oven.
Cover it, okay.
Correct.
Okay. And then out it comes. What temperature oven?
350.
For how long?
20 minutes. And then you're going to uncover it, and you're going to cook it for an additional 10 minutes, just to brown the top. Excuse me.
Under a broiler or right back in the oven?
Just right back in the oven.
Okay. And we have a finished product over here. I want to show everybody how beautiful that looks. Absolutely fantastic. Sir, wonderfully done.
There you go.
Cannot wait.
A little bit of white chocolate sauce on top of that.
Here I go. The recipe for this, by the way, is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Or you can just head on over to one of the restaurants and have it firsthand, right? Is this on the menu?
That is on our menu.
Oh, my God. Oh, so good. Chef Ray, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Oh, we'll be right back.